Now, a lot of company core values, we say here at EntreLeadership that they're not aspirational. This is who we are from day one.
Right.
Does the same apply to personal core values?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you go, okay, this is who I want to be. So, for instance, I have 3 kids. You're newly married. Hopefully, we have a lot of little camels running around. I just always like saying that. And you and Whitney, at some point, as parents, you'll go, okay, this is how we want to parent. Not just the kiddos, but like how you want to be as a dad. And you'll draw from experiences, and then also, kind of that desired future as you look out and you go, okay, this is what I want my kids to say about me and think about me and all this kind of stuff. So same thing in the personal life. We have to go, who do I want to be? And then make some decisions and go, okay, I value this now because I want to value it later. So therefore, as my good friend and mentor John Maxwell said, you make the big decisions early in life, and then you spend the rest of your life managing those decisions. So the decision's been made. I'm going to be faithful to my wife. I'm going to be consistent for my kids, whatever the big decision is. And then now we just spend the rest of our days going, the big boulders have been declared. Now I've got to act in accordance to that.
So for your own personal core values, was there a moment where you said, I gotta put a stake in the ground and write something on paper?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think, my faith, grew up in a church home, my mom and dad in ministry. And, just like any kid with faith, you got to choose. Is this something you accept and believe, or are you not so sure about it, whether you grew up in a pastor's home or not? So for me, I made a decision very early on in my life that my faith was very, very important to me. My relationship with God was very, very important. So that was the first biggie, right? And so then here you go, you advance into life, and I was confronted with some opportunities to do some things that were against my faith and my morals and my religious beliefs, and thankfully walked through those, by saying, okay, this is not right. And I said that I don't think that this is right, and I said I wouldn't do this, so now I'm not going to do it. So that's early on. And then, then as I became a married man, it was like, hey, my wife, my relationship to Stacy, we committed on the altar that we're going to stay together. And I can tell you that, marriage is hard, but we're approaching 25 years married.
It's amazing.
And so, we decided faith. I decided faith, my family, meaning I'm going to be around my kids. I'm not going to be the distant dad who's there but not there. I'm going to choose to not travel during the early years, choose to not play golf. And you know this, you've known me for over a decade. And I just picked up golf a year ago. And I'm 48. So I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but that's a values decision that's lived out, because to take golf seriously, you got to put the hours in. And when you got 3 kiddos, and there's a time, and now they're teenagers. So
schedules are crazy.
Mama don't need me around on the weekends, and B, they don't want me around. The kids, they got their own life. So I have more personal time to be able to do that. So those are a couple examples of big decisions, faith and family. And then I also value my uniqueness, and I value the contribution that God has afforded me just by giving me today. I mean, I just put out an Instagram post minutes before I walked in here. This moment today, this moment now, it's a gift. It's a gift for me to give away. And so I want to, my values in those areas, faith, family, and work, drive every decision I make. And again, you know me. You know what my personal life is like. I live pretty much within those 3 things. And it's an easy, simple life, and it's a very fulfilling life.
So this is a decision-making filter once you have these values, and it makes those decisions easier because you have this anchor point.
That's exactly right. And so once we make the decisions and we begin to manage against the big decision, like John Maxwell said, guess what happens? Really good habits. And then after those habits get established, now they become guiding principles. But underneath all that is the value, what I care deeply about.